recovering alcoholic. I'm in recovery. I actually just got my 1 year chip. So that would talk about fever dream. That's like crazy to me, that I could be 1 day sober, like 365 in a row. What?
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I am a mom. I'm a wife. My story pretty much is a lot of like family dynamics, dysfunction, a lot of like trying to break the generational curse. I'm the first person to ever do it, to ever walk into the rooms, to my knowledge, and stay in the rooms and choose a better life. So I'm like trudging that road to happy destiny. Oh, and I also own a Etsy store, recovery themed merch and all that fun stuff, like dark humor stuff.
Okay.
That's how I cope.
Yeah. That's a pretty typical thing in recovery is to have that dark humor. Somebody
Yeah.
was talking to me about it the other day. They're like, "Yeah, I tell these stories, and whenever my wife hears it, she's like, dude, that's not funny." Like, yeah, well, it is to us.
Yeah, it is. It
Okay,
is.
so is it a family thing? Like, is it the genetic
Oh hell
predisposition type
yeah.
thing? Okay.
Oh hell yeah. And so like this is where I gotta be brave and I gotta just speak in my truth. But yeah, I definitely family disease, right? Can't escape it. Um, I think there's people in my family they're obviously still drinking, and they don't have the um, capacity to call it alcoholic drinking. We would say maybe. Um, but yeah, definitely grew up in it. I'm also Colombian, so you know, game on. Yeah,
Yeah, there's like a cultural thing there.
yeah. I was literally just gonna say la cultura.
Yeah. That's
Mm-hmm.
it's the ability to zoom out from the culture, but then in addition to that, it's like I say it all the time, right? 'Cause self cannot critique self,
Mm-hmm.
and so the ability to kind of zoom out and be like, am I fucking my life up or my kid's life up
Mm-hmm.
over my desire to drink on the weekends?
Oh, for me, yeah, it was totally not the weekends.
Yeah.
I couldn't the weekends. That was crazy. It started with the weekends. It was the weekends, maybe like first 2, 3 weekends, and
Well,
then
yeah, the
and then I was
weekend
like
slowly
done.
becomes a 4 day weekend, a
It
5 day
literally, yeah. There
weekend.
was like people talk about that, like for me that was quick. No, I want it every day.
Yeah. How old are you?
I just turned 30.
Okay. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
and then had you tried to get sober previously?
No, this is my first real swing at it. So technically, I guess I haven't really had like a relapse. I really, really try. So actually, so I guess my story starts. I went to a Post Malone concert last October, and it, it was a bad night. It was a bad night. I made really terrible decisions. I hurt my husband. I did the whole thing. I, embarrassed my friends. People were mad at me. Left me at the bar. I don't think they left me at the bar. They should have left me at the bar. Just the whole. It wasn't anything I hadn't done before, but it was just that night. Like I had never hurt my husband before, and that was not the wife. That was not like the mom I wanted to be. Um, so the next day, still drunk, probably. My husband took the kids to school because at this point we were living at my mother-in-law's. We kind of were the like lost. We, in our eyes, we lost everything, but we didn't lose everything due to alcoholism. It was poor circumstances, right? Life was unkind to us. We were unlucky. Like COVID happened. Um, our last pregnancy, we lost one of our sons. So like we had a lot of things that we could hide our alcoholism, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
or me at least, hide my alcoholism um, behind. I just totally got off topic. I don't even
No,
know
you're
where I
good.
was going.
You're good. It's just circumstances and life and
Yeah. Gosh, yeah. So family, definitely family dynamic. For me, so I'm the oldest. So carry a lot of that weight. I'm also the only one from like both of my parents. So I was like the step, or not the step, the half kind of there, and we had the stepdaughter situation. So I kind of always grew up confused.
yeah. How many kids?
So it, I love that question. It's such like a dysfunctional question because it's like, do I say two or do I like tell you the truth and say like five and
Yeah.
like do some math here? Um, But so my father has 3 children, including myself, and my mom has 3 children, including myself. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm the oldest of 10, and I'm from my mom's first marriage.
Holy shit, 10
Yeah.
kids.
So kind of similar. But there was 3 of us from her first marriage.
How does she afford to feed y'all? Like, that's
They didn't.
insane.
Yeah. Yeah. It was,
It's one of those.
yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Gosh, that sucks.
So
10
family,
kids.
yeah, 10 kids and in a like extremely religious home too.
Like Catholic?
No, Mormon.
Mormon.
Hmm.
My sponsor was Mormon. I don't know much about that, but I definitely so I I'm also recovering Catholic. That was kind of new to me coming into the rooms and realizing that like I could talk to God whenever I want and like stuff, kind of taking the Catholic, what I was taught out of it a little bit, like the God of my understanding.
Yeah.
I don't have to overcomplicate shit.
Yeah.
You know, ooh, can I say bad words?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if have you watched the show?
I have watched a couple. I've seen a couple bad words, but I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm known to put my foot in my mouth.
Yeah,
here.
this is completely uncensored and completely unscripted, so you can say whatever you want.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Cool.
So let's talk about the story then, like, because you kind of started to get into that, but
Yeah, so the story, I guess, I don't know. So, like I said, I'm only a year in, so like my story's still unfolding in front of me. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. My story, you know, they say like more will be revealed. I'm like every day, like my story is still being written for me, especially because I've spent so long. So like I started drinking when I was 17, like really drinking, and everything's been so diluted and poisoned that like the past, year, I'm like fever dream kind of,
yeah.
But the willingness is there, so like I keep doing the next right thing. Have you ever seen Frozen?
No,
You've never seen Frozen, Frozen 1 or Frozen 2?
no. I was homeless 5 years ago, so
Okay. All right. Well, we need to get you to see Homeless. We need to get you to
Frozen.
see Frozen because it's like so funny. This stupid talking snowman. He's just like, this will all make sense when I'm older, and like, let it go. I have a
I will say
snowman.
this: my 4-year-old, that's like one of her favorite movies.
You need to sit down and watch it with her.
Yeah,
Yeah, because 100% you'll cry. Like if you're in early recovery and you sit down and watch Frozen 1 or Frozen 2, doesn't matter. Like the message is the same. It's like let it go, chill. Like this is just a season. There's literally a song. This will all make sense when I'm older. Like cuz I hope it will one day. And
yeah,
I'm 30, but
yeah. I mean, growth within So you started drinking when you were 17, right? That's like, and then you drank your entire adult life.
I didn't drink during my pregnancies. By the grace of God, I didn't have that urge. Because like I always knew I wanted to be a mom. Like, how do I be the best mom, the best wife? So I got pregnant, and I don't know if you saw my Instagram, but my Instagram is a great story. It's a good story on there because you can see. I didn't even realize this last night. I was scrolling back with my husband. I was like, holy shit! Like I'm like 16, 17 on here. You can see the whole story like really unfold. This is fun. I got married.
What age?
I got married. What? I think I was probably 25 when I got married. We were probably 25.
Okay.
We only had 2 kids at that time. 25, maybe 26. I don't know. Somewhere around there, we got married. And let me see. Where were we? Got married. The kids.
Drinking at 17.
Drinking at 17. Yeah, drinking at 17. When I got so my husband and I always drank. We always drank together. We partied together. It was just fun. But it's not until now that I can look back and I can see that that was like me doing that like masking thing where I'm like, okay, like I'll let you get as drunk as you want and have as much fun as you want because like I'm figuring out why I feel the way that I feel or whatever. So yeah, my drinking it progressed obviously because it does, and each pregnancy it seems like it was like after I was done I went kind of harder.
Making up for lost time.
Pretty much, I guess. But it was like I waited until I was done breastfeeding for the most part. I mean, there were times where I was nursing with drinking a beer, but I at that time you don't think anything about that. You're like, oh, this is great for whatever the hell it's good for. I don't whatever you tell yourself. Um, and then it wasn't until probably I would say the shift for me, my drinking. Our last pregnancy, we had a twin pregnancy, and only one of them is here with us today. So that was just a whole mess of a thing. I'm still processing on it. I'm open to talk about it. I just am still processing. So I might do that whole ugly cry thing. But for me, after my son passed, I like gave myself permission to get like as fucked up as I wanted to get, and nobody could tell me shit. Cause like, who's gonna come toe to toe with somebody who just lost their kid?
Yeah.
Nobody. Nobody's gonna say shit to you, and that was a dangerous spot. That was a dangerous spot. Cause then we started drinking in the morning. I had like a coffee cup that was like black on the inside, so you couldn't tell that like it wasn't coffee. It was red wine. Yeah. I mean, my teeth would be purple later anyway. Like, who the fuck was I kidding? But
Wine makes your teeth purple?
oh yeah, I feel like it stains it. You know.
Really?
So I switched to white. I switched to white wine, so my teeth wouldn't be stained.
Ah.
Yeah, and then I can go back too and see like pictures, like all the functions. I'm like, oh, there's purple teeth. She was like 2 bottles deep.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
red
funny.
ass
And now I'm
wine.
gonna start looking for that.
Yeah, now you know.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm not a. I'm part Vietnamese, so I have like an actual, not alcoholic allergy, but like a genetic allergy. So I just never drank.
So like, so you don't have it at all. So you're like, you would like be normie, or are you?
Oh no, I'm a fucked up addict. But
Okay. So alcohol is one of those things for you too.
I can turn. Well, it never was a thing because I can't do it. But I can turn a candy bar into a problem.
Yeah. Oh fuck, same. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That is me. It's me.
Yeah. I think it's everybody.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the difference between use and abuse, right? And you can build a house with a hammer, or you can kill someone with a hammer. It's up to you how you use the tools.
Use and abuse. Yeah. It's true.
So I'm not a user. I'm a just straight up abuser.
All green, right? No breaks.
Yeah, and it's like, I think it's a pretty typical thing. You can hear it in like the echoes of it in everybody's story, because everybody's baseline story around addiction is the same, right? We grew up, something fucked up happened that we can point to. We fucked up our lives, and then at some point we got sick of it and we got better. But you can insert any kind of variable into it. I think trauma, ultimately, if you choose not to handle it, is just an excuse to use for most people. And so there's all kinds of different like theoretical stuff that you can point to, and then physiological stuff you can point to, and then factual things or circumstantial things that everybody could point to. But like for me and my addiction, I was molested as a kid, right? And so I think between being molested as a kid and then like growing up fucking broke and super poor with 10 kids in the house and like parents trying to do the best they could, I could point to every single individual one of those things, and somebody out there is using over one of them, right? And so I just had to be like, none of that shit contributes to the decisions that I make as far as like has control over the outcome. Only I do. So I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna.
You got sick of your own shit.
Yeah, and it was like, ultimately, if I let other people's influence fuck up the rest of my life, I'm fucked forever. And so I was just like, fuck that. I'm just gonna. It was all my fault. I was molested as a kid. It was all my fault. We were poor as a kid. It was all my fault. And because it was my fault, I could control the outcome.
Yeah. It's so when I was a kid, I remember so like having mom and dad like separated and like arguing over me. It was constantly a battle. It was constantly a battle over me. Like they were it wasn't even to
You're
my
your mom's kid or your dad's kid?
I'm my mom's.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom and then I grew up with my mom and my stepdad.
Yeah.
My biological father was in Florida for quite some time. So growing up like in the, like the trauma forming years, I guess, it was my mom and my stepdad. But I think like I remember that's where like my confusion started, because I'm like, are they fighting over me, or are they fighting just to fight? And like having an emotionally unavailable mom. I didn't know that I had an emotionally unavailable mom. That's recovery language.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't know that shit. When you're out drinking, you think like, why is my mom not proud of me? Why am I not, why is my mom not involved in my life, in my kid's life? Like, but now I would say probably the biggest chunk of my story is probably like the generational like curses and the mom story, so to say. Just because, I mean, I looked back at my life growing up and I thought I had the greatest thing. We never had to want really for anything, and my
Mm-hmm.
parents so graciously reminded me of that growing up every day. Like, everything I do for you, I do like very almost like narcissistic. I don't want to say it too, but very very much like that, and that does something to you. That does something to you, especially being the oldest and like having like I learned being my mother's daughter meant I had to keep the peace. I had to keep my mom happy to keep the peace. Because if my mom's not, or if me and my mom, if I'm disagreeing with my mom, she's gonna, it's gonna trickle down to my siblings. It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be a whole thing. And like, I love my siblings. To this day, right now, I don't have a relationship with them. They're under her, they're much younger. I think my brother is 18, my sister's like 22. I don't have a relationship with them because of
The mother's dominion.
the mothers. Hmm. And they're
Um,
still young too, like they live with her. So it's like, what do? You just wait, you pray.
yeah, I mean, I was caught doing drugs at 16,
Hmm.
but they had a like a 3-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 6-year-old. They had little kids, so
Hmm.
they were like, "You got to go,"
Hmm.
right? And so I grew up my entire adult life. I didn't have a single conversation with any of my siblings until I was 30.
Mm. Are they addicts?
I have one brother who had like addict problems. Um, so it's up to him whether or not he's an addict or not. I don't know. I don't
Hmm.
know what he would say today. I know that he can't use drugs, but the rest of them are, they're like accountants and like,
Mm.
whatever.
Mm. And then there's us.
And then there's, yeah, me, right? And
Yeah.
it's like the complete dichotomy of like what they wanted, what my parents wanted, and then what I wanted,
Hmm.
right? And it's like, okay, well, the
Yeah.
reality was the outcome was basically the same. I just took a different path.
I mean, yeah, the path. Ugh. The path.
Yeah, the proverbial path.
Yeah, it's a happy destiny.
Yeah. So when did you guys meet?
I met him my senior year in high school.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Um, choking on your coffee over there. You good? You need some water? You good? Okay. We met senior year in high school.
Okay.
I actually ran into him a few times in my drinking career. I was like 21, and I saw him. I ran into him at Whataburger, and I was like, he said something. He was like, "Here she comes again," and I like bucked up and was ready to fight. Like, that's the kind of
Were you
drinker I
drunk?
was. Oh fuck yeah, I
Oh
was
yeah.
drunk.
Okay.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I was ready to fight. That was me. 10 foot tall and bulletproof, which I'm not, obviously.
Yeah.
And to touch on like you were molested as a child, like I'm so sorry that happened to you, and I sit here today and I am full of gratitude because as an adult I put myself in so many situations because of my disease where that could have that could have happened, that could have been an outcome. It wasn't.
Yeah.
And I get to sit here and we get to learn from each other's stories and whatever, but
Yeah. You don't have to be sorry. I'm glad it happened.
it's crazy that I believe you.
Yeah.
I know that I know what you mean when you say that. Like, fuck that. I know what you mean.
Well, I think one of the most eye-opening things that what's up, Terry? One of the most eye-opening things that I learned about myself when I really got serious about recovery was that being molested as a kid had almost no bearing on my addiction.
Really?
Hmm.
So it wasn't something you thought about like at all?
I mean, I thought about it, but it wasn't something that I used over.
Really?
Hmm.
See, I didn't. It wasn't until I got sober that I could like look back now and see things that I used, like when I have a trigger now. Like I couldn't really pinpoint things I used to use over or drink over because I used to, it was everything. It was
Yeah.
literally everything.
Yeah. So there is, you can use over everything, anything good, anything bad. Everything's an excuse to use, right? But the reality around the like being molested thing was I was so separated from that event by the time I started using, there was so much other trauma.
Mm,
Like, if you want to call it trauma, right? There
mm.
was so much other shit that I was dealing with.
Bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, that it was like, so finally I like got clean, did some like deep therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And like at the end of a year of that, my therapist and I were talking, and she was like, "You're not like, regardless of what people want to think or what they will project on you, uh, being molested was like the smallest of your problems."
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Brains are so interesting. I would love to like cut open like my brain and just like see it all because I feel like it would make so much more sense in my recovery.
They all look the same.
I just, I don't know. Like everything to me right now, today, staying sober and not drinking today isn't enough anymore. It's not enough to. It's
That's amazing that you're at that point at a year sober.
really.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
No, because you'll see
That's terrifying.
you'll see people like in the back of the room that have 30 years, and they'll be like, "Well, I just didn't drink today, so that's a win." It's like, that is a fucked up existence.
That's not a win. It's not a win anymore because if I'm grumpy or me, just me. I can only speak for myself. Restless, irritable, discontent. That's me. That's me. Without the program, I mean, you take the bottle away, fine. I'm still going to be restless, irritable, and discontent. And I was even from the time I was a kid. I can realize that now. I can realize that I was always confused. I was always restless. I was always irritable. Growing up, like I remember being called a brat, but like I was a baby alcoholic.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah,
Like,
that's another really good point. That's
yeah,
amazing that you're there already.
really?
Yeah,
Because
well,
I feel like I don't know shit about fuck. I'm like unpeeling it all.
yeah. Like the realization around having addict behavior as a child, I think it takes years for a lot of people to get there.
Oh wow. Okay, that makes me feel like I'm on track because I can look back at my childhood and be like, look at her work in the room. Like
Yeah, so there's like like family of origin work, right? For a lot of people, moves the needle a shitload, and most people get into it years into their recovery,
dang.
right? Because they're dealing with drinking
Mm-hmm.
for however long it takes them to get over the symptom, and then after they're done dealing with the symptom, that's where everything else pops up.
Mm.
But you'll see it many times. You probably already interacted with this, where it's like people will get stuck at step 4 for 3 years.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I worked. Yeah. I worked my steps. I worked my steps because I wanted relief, and
Yeah,
restless, irritable, discontent.
yeah,
Back to that. I couldn't. And it's not, it's my responsibility too. Like I have a husband, I have children. It's my responsibility to make sure that I'm the best I can be for them.
that's great.
And that's period.
Yeah, I don't. Are you familiar with like AA history at all yet?
A little bit. I'm starting. I can yeah, a little bit. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
So when Bill and Bob started doing their thing,
Mm-hmm.
at first there was like no structure to it, and then when they put like structure to it, it was 6 steps and it took 15 minutes.
Okay, see that's what I don't understand because like my sponsor was like get in, work it, get out, and then like you hear old timers talk about like we would stay up till at Denny's all night long, get your steps, and just play games with you and keep you up and sober and whatever. And that's why like it's like a contradictory almost because it's like
Yeah, that is part of the dilemma that I've found, is that people inject themselves into the process,
gotta take yourself out.
and they use a fallacy, right? They'll say, "I've been there and done that, so I know the best,"
Mm-hmm.
but you are not in the book,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's
Mm-hmm.
similarities to all the stories after the first 164, but the reality is, my name is not in the book, so I don't know why I'm going to inject myself in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen it over and over and over and over. Suboxone saved my life,
Mm.
right? Labeled a chronic relapser, labeled treatment resistant, like all of the negative labels that you can get in the treatment industry. I had them,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went into the rooms on Suboxone and I hit the wall every single. I was going to 3 or 4 meetings a day, and I was hitting a wall with people like half the time, and so I just quit going.
Mm.
And so, but I found, you know, I got really into the history of AA years ago, and one of the things that always stuck with me was how they said that they don't have a monopoly on God. And so what it told me was that there are solutions external to it. It's just you have to, like, it is the well-worn path versus the lesser known path, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if people are struggling with the path that they are on, there's a well-worn path that you can choose, that the way is lit for you. There's hundreds of thousands of people on it that can help guide you along the way.
It's comfortable.
But if those people are pointing the finger at you, there's other paths you can take too.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Mm-hmm.
but so 17, graduated, ran into him at 21, and periodically.
Mm-hmm. We
Um,
got pregnant before the marriage. Yep. It was a nice little surprise. We actually were together for 1 year, like 3 weeks after our son was born. So it's all green.
yeah,
Gas, no brakes.
yeah.
But we did after my first son. I really started, because that was making up for lost time. I felt that. I was like, okay, well, I haven't been drunk in so long, and I do remember too. Towards the end of that pregnancy, I was like, I could have a glass of wine. He's grown enough. Like, he's full. He's big. He can come out. And then I specifically had a thought. I think I said it. I may have said it, but I was like, he's big enough. If he doesn't like it, he can get the fuck out. But like
Oh, like while you were pregnant.
while I was pregnant. This
Okay.
is like tail end of my pregnancy. I think I was like, I mean, I was big. Um, but yeah, like, and those obviously red flags. But then after that baby, we didn't breastfeed. So I thought that was like cool, green light. And I was hitting the vodka hard. I was hitting it so hard. I don't know where that came from, because I was like not really into vodka like that before. But for some reason, man, we just had it in our freezer all the time. And I just would like it was like a vape.
Can I ask you a question around, okay, the pregnancy and did you drink?
I did not drink during. Well, I mean,
No, I mean that time when you were like, I could drink, I could
I
drink
could
some
have a
wine.
glass of wine.
Yeah.
I do believe I had a glass of wine. I think it was the 4th of July. I think I did have a glass of wine. And he was born 3 weeks later.
Okay. So this is the thing that I run into all the time with guests, with people outside of the podcast or whatever, but um, people will make decisions around using while they're pregnant, right? And then highly criticized by a lot of people. Obviously, they don't probably fucking know, but what actually was the reasoning around, like, was it just like an uncontrollable desire to drink, or was it just like justification thoughts? What was it?
Boredom, probably.
Oh,
It was a lot. It was a lot of but I take it. I say again. I got to circle back to restless, irritable discontent, because like I was just always so uncomfortable.
mm-hmm.
Like it has taken me like almost 30 years to like just be comfortable sitting here,
Mm-hmm.
and like just yeah, it was just boredom. I was tired of being pregnant and sober, and just, to me was me when I was drunk, and I couldn't wait to get back to me again.
Mm-hmm.
And then you throw a baby in it, and that's your first baby, and it's hard, and there's like postpartum feelings there, and there's a whole bunch of things. That was like probably the first time that I realized like my mom is sick. Um,
At 25, you realize this?
yeah, I mean, I knew it, but I had made excuses
Mm-hmm.
for a while because she's my mom, and like I still wanted her. She was my best friend growing up. I mean, like a mother and a daughter are supposed to be best friends. And so I dismissed a lot of her behavior, and I excused it. Um, and I also partied with my mom when I was like 21 and all that stuff. We went to bars together. We did all that shit. I mean, it's not, it's dysfunctional. It's not appropriate. I mean, it was teaching me bad habits, and totally bad coping mechanisms, and all the things we don't want to teach our kids. But I think we're talking about pregnancy.
Yeah, and I want to continue to talk about it. But so
Okay.
basically, it was what was the reasoning around it, and boredom. That's a good
Boredom,
reason.
uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable, but not like uncomfortable because I was pregnant. I was uncomfortable because it was all I had never known, was just being so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And when I say like uncomfortable in myself, like I haven't been like diagnosed with anything, but I personally believe that there's like pieces of me that falls with like autism spectrum disorder, and I think a lot of it's crazy because a lot of women in recovery have autism. They don't even know it. But that's like one of the main reasons that they started masking when they were younger is because they're so uncomfortable. And so like we learn, I say we, like I mean, I'm just speaking for myself, but I have learned how to like it's almost like my tism, so to speak. Like alcoholism was able to relieve that,
Mm-hmm.
like so much so that I was able to do normal things
Mm-hmm.
until I was not able to do normal things, like go to the rodeo and go to Post Malone and take my kids to school, all that shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, the autism spectrum is an interesting thing to talk about because they broadened it so widely. It's like everybody has a symptom.
Literally, yeah. I mean, I just wanna know more about myself and why I feel the way that I feel. And honestly, truthfully, I probably never will. And like that's okay, right? That's where acceptance comes in. Um, but I know when I go into those women's meetings and I like talk about like the uncomfortableness that I feel and I like share that and just like, and then there's somebody after me, she's like, you might have autism or whatever because of that. And I'm like it makes sense, and it's in the fellowship that like I learn about myself too.
Yeah.
I never thought, I didn't think about like spectrum would be something I'd be interested in looking at like 10 years ago for myself, but I'm like, wow, there's a lot there.
Well, yeah, like 10 years ago, it wasn't really a thing.
No, not really.
Yeah.
It was like only for like severe cases. I remember like nonverbal and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, like, but like, I mean a diagnosis wouldn't mean anything really. It would just mean that I know how to, I don't know what, regulate my body better.
Well, diagnosis is a funny thing, especially in addiction, because everybody that goes to treatment comes out with multiple diagnoses, right? It doesn't. Have you have you watched any of the Dr. Shaw content?
I have seen some, yeah.
Okay, so
I
he's
like
a
him.
neurologist
Hmm.
and the only addiction medicine specialist that's also a neurologist in the country.
Okay, I was trying to explain that to my mother-in-law, and I kept totally messing it up. I was like, "No, he's the."
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
okay, so got it now.
And one of the things that I have learned through working with him is that uh, there is a propensity for misdiagnosis within the recovery industry, period. Everybody gets misdiagnosed, whether they like to admit it or not, because when somebody's coming off drugs or alcohol, of
Hmm.
course they have anxiety, of course they have depression. So
Hmm.
why are we diagnosing people 24 hours after they come off this shit?
Yeah.
Right? And so, and
Hmm.
then everybody leaves with medications,
Hmm.
medications that were designed for acute treatment, right? And people
Hmm.
end up on them for years, if not the rest of their life,
Mm.
right? And
Hmm.
so, yeah, it's like what you're saying. A diagnosis just means that some guy in a coat that was overly educated. Do you know how
Hmm.
much average training a doctor gets around addiction medicine throughout their entire education system?
Mm.
6 hours.
Are you serious?
6 hours, unless you are specifically going for addiction medicine or anything adjacent. So, like behavioral health, addiction medicine, anything like that, you get 6 hours of addiction medicine in the 8 hours of school. I mean, 8 years of schooling that you do.
6 hours.
6 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's pretty much standardized across the country.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you were to like look at like hospital statistics and everything right now, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And so,
Wow.
like, your average PCP is like typically, so there was over 1 billion prescriptions of Adderall written last year. Yeah.
Wow.
There's three for every adult, every human in the United States. There was three prescriptions written for
Oh my
last year.
goodness. Oh my goodness. See, I was blessed with like the I had no desire ever to mess with like pills of any sort like that just cuz like I don't know, I'm just a fearful person, like riddled with fear and fentanyl. I'm scared. So that's totally been like out of my thing, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God, because I have a younger brother who struggles. He's um, not in recovery. I don't know where he is with his recovery, but he's a meth user. So yeah, it runs in the family.
Yeah. The genetic predisposition is it's a strong gene. Um, okay, so 25, you had realizations around your mom.
So I came home from having a baby, and my mom had blocked me. Um, I guess it was just like
While you were in the
while I
hospital.
was in the hospital.
Okay,
Like no, I'm serious. Like
I believe it.
it was crazy. So
Is your mom an alcoholic?
I
Okay, does your mom drink
yes,
problematically?
yes,
Okay.
it's been a problem in her and I's relationship. Everybody else I can't speak on, but yeah, and I don't know if she's actively drinking today or yesterday. I don't know. But yeah, so the situation, the first one, the one that really got me because it caused a lot of pain and I drank over that for a long time. So I guess now hindsight, that's probably where the vodka came from like right there, like wanting to get over that. Um, but the birth of my first son, like that was horrible. It was very, very bad. So when you have like, I have to be careful with like the narcissistic word, but um, my mom wanted to make my childbirth all about her,
Yeah.
and
So there's a good alternative for that word is
mhm.
self-involved.
Self-involved.
Yeah.
Ooh, good. Okay, I have a very self-involved mother with herself. Anyway, I yeah, trying to speak very graceful.
Okay.
So my mother, yeah. So the root of the problem, my whole pregnancy, she knew that she wasn't going to be in the room when I was pushing. Last minute, she decided she's going to change her mind. She's out there knitting the whole time. I'm hanging out and telling her she can come in. She's like, no, I'll just wait. Well, then I start pushing. Well, then she starts pushing. She wants to come in. She wants to come in. I set my boundaries. Like I have my photographer, I have my best friend, I have my
Do you guys have
husband.
pictures of it?
Oh hell yeah, we got it all.
That is interesting.
We got it all. We got the whole thing. So we had a video too. But yeah, and so the baby was born at like 5:15. They didn't find out. Nobody got a text until 5:45 that the baby was here.
Okay.
Okay, I was bleeding out. So I wasn't really. I didn't have my phone.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever like bled out, but it's not really something you're sitting there texting, and then he had the baby. I didn't even have the baby. So he's holding the baby because I'm sitting there shaking and terrible. Well, apparently a whole scene was made regarding like not being able to be made into or let into the room. The nurses will not allow you to stand in the hallway. HIPAA, that's a thing. Can't do that anymore to like hear the first cry. That's what she just. I just wanted to hear the first cry because my mom had suffered child loss,
Okay.
in I guess previous years. So yeah, so she used that trauma that she had that day to just really make it all about her. Made a big scene, and then when you add the postpartum depression like stuff and the baby blues, and I just had a baby, my mom's nowhere to be found. I was texting her, my bubbles were turning green, so she blocked me. The whole thing, and it was like the first 2 weeks my son was here, I did not have my mom. I came home to like an empty apartment, crying. I mean, the whole thing, like you just. And I know now, like, I have to accept that for what it was, but I had expectations.
Yeah.
And, like, and I don't think I was unfair for having those, especially because of, and, like, this is where it will trip me up in my recovery because, like, my kids are so easy to love. Do you ever just, like, look at your kids, and you're just like, it's just so organic?
I have a 4-year-old angel that is like just an angel.
Literally.
Yeah, and then 7-week-old
Shut up. You
that quite possibly could be somebody else's if you looked at her. I hope my wife is watching this.
Okay, I gotta see some photos after this. Okay, so you have 2 girls.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have all boys.
Oh, fucking
We have
lucky.
all boys. We have all boys. Even our twin was a boy, so 4. We have like boys.
As much as I love these little girls, I fully understand karmic debt that I'm paying off because of how fucked up I was as a kid.
Oh, it'll get worse.
Oh, no, I know.
It'll get worse. We have a 7-year-old, and yeah, he's definitely given me everything that used to just oh yeah. We'll talk parenting and all that stuff, but Yeah, that was it for me. Was that was like that was it. That was pain that I hadn't felt anymore when I came home, and I was like, shit. Also, the physical pain of just having a baby. You want your mom. Like it hurts to have a baby. So that was like the first time I really wanted my mom, and she was unavailable.
Are you good at math?
I don't know why.
Okay, so I think that there are three real human superpowers,
Okay.
and one of them's childbirth.
Uh-huh.
The other one's recovery, and the other one's high level math. But yeah,
No, I wouldn't say I'm very good at math, but I don't think I'm a superhero by any means.
whether superheroes use their powers or not, that you've participated in two. So
Okay. Got that going for me, I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
That's
High,
good.
and the high level math thing, when you like actualize high level math, you create things like space travel and nukes and like
Yeah, no, there's no nuke building up here.
yeah.
None
So
of that. There's a whole bunch of other crazy shit getting built up here.
oh yeah,
Mostly like fake scenarios, but
yeah, oh yeah.
there's no science.
There is an aspect of the attic thinking that is high level math for sure.
Well, now when you put it like that, I can be a mathematician. When you put it like that, sure, okay, how many shots if I have $30?
Those two.
And I'm going to this place and this their bar. Now I can do math when
Yeah.
it comes to that.
Or the algebraic equations that we work out around people's opinions of us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where it's like, if you insert this here and then you add this look that they gave me, then this was definitely how they thought about me.
100%. It's all made up.
Mm-hmm.
Set in stone. Yeah, that's the ism.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that always. Like, do you look back and see that as a kid?
Not so much about like people's opinion of me, but more of like the way that I saw myself. Because I was like, I had like a delusional, I had like a delusional confidence about myself when I was a kid.
Delusional confidence.
Yeah. There was nothing backing it. It's just, I thought, well, I'm an Aries. And so there's like that, I think,
I'm a Virgo.
is a factor. Because whenever you look at like any kind of zodiac or like any kind of anything like that, it's like the world could be ending for like all these other signs, and it's like everybody loves you, and no matter what you touch, it's gold. And it's like, yeah, Aries are the shit.
That's funny. That's really funny. Yeah, no, I've had to step back from the spiritual like that stuff because I used to be all into that.
Yeah.
I used to think I was like witchy do, brouhaha. My husband was like, "What the hell are you doing?" And then I
Yeah.
got sober, and now I'm like, "All right."
You like
whatever."
catch her in the kitchen, like taking the chicken bones out of the
I used to spray my front door with cinnamon water for abundance. I haven't done that in recovery.
Do you know who Frankie Cunez is?
I don't think so.
He's like a Mexican stand-up comedian,
Uh-uh.
but he has a show called This Fool on Hulu. Anyway, he has a bunch of jokes about like Mexican women and witchcraft.
And there, brouhaha.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool. I gotta watch that.
it's super funny.
That's cool.
Okay, so keep going.
All right, mom. Yeah, that was it. First one.
We don't have to keep pounding on that if you don't want to, but I looked at your Instagram and you do something with like coaching for postpartum, right?
Yes. So, yeah. Okay. So,
Which makes sense.
because all I want to do is help people.
Well, and you have a lot of kids and you've had tragedies around pregnancies,
Exactly, right? Well, that was actually before I lost my son.
which probably helped.
I have not delivered a baby since.
Okay.
I lie. I have delivered one, but it was like he's like one of my own. I had to be there. I cut the cord. So, but I have not a stranger. No, I haven't helped anybody since then. Just because I don't know how I would do. I don't know how I would act.
Well, you can ask him. Like being on the other side of a delivery is traumatizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty traumatizing on this side too, guys.
Yeah. Well, you got a blanket, so like imagine the other side of that.
There was no blanket.
Actually,
I'm coming out.
If my wife hears me say that, she's gonna be super mad. So
So we love you, wife.
yeah.
You're strong. Okay. Where were we at?
Postpartum coaching.
Oh yeah, postpartum coaching. Yeah. So I always wanted to help people. So when you're like, I was actively in my addiction during then. I remember I was like drinking while I was like doing my school and stuff. And I remember too, um, thinking to myself, it doesn't matter how shitty and poorly I'm treating myself because I'm helping others. So
Mm-hmm.
like I always tried to like I never wanted to be a shitty person.
Yeah.
You know, I always wanted to help. Like, and so that was the only way that I knew how at that moment. Obviously, then we got pregnant. Circumstances with our twins. What is that? Circumstances with our twins happened, and I never picked that up again,
Okay.
ever. So,
That. Why do you think that is?
fear.
Okay.
That stupid damn word, the F word.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit of fear. And two, though, now it makes sense, you know, like that was like a teaser of like helping people the way God uh, like used me to this.
Yeah.
Because like that was like an appetizer. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, you can get your feet wet with like, but this has value. Because I wasn't, I mean, as helpful as I wanted to be to those moms, I was hoping that they weren't going to call me at 2:30 in the morning and tell me they were going into,
To labor.
and you know why? Because I'm shit faced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're like, how am I gonna get there?
How the fuck am I going to get there?
Yeah.
You know, how am I going to stay awake? Like planning my drinks and around like people's pregnancies and the end of their pregnancy. I did all that. Like, how
Fuck.
do you like and towards the end of it, there was no room for life left in there. Like there was just so much planning and alcoholism and planning for the next drink. I hated that.
Yeah. 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 It seems to. Everything gets in the way of drinking,
Literally.
for sure. Well, for me, it was sticking needles in my arm.
Yeah.
Actually, I take that back. Like the end of my like extreme use, I was homeless. Like intentionally by choice, we were homeless because we were like,
It was both of y'all?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We've been together for it'll in May it'll be 9 years, and we spent like a couple of years homeless together too.
Oh, that's amazing. So you guys were on both sides
Yeah,
and the tunnel together.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
yeah, yeah.
amazing.
Well, when we got sober, like I went off and had to face 33 years in prison, and then she had to go have a baby by herself.
Mm.
But and then we like came back on the other side of like getting sober,
Mm-hmm.
and so
More will be revealed. Is that what that was?
yeah, it was more of like both of us were in such a fucked up place at the end of our addiction, which ultimately like we were so comfortable there, like we were so comfortable like living in a tent and like crossing the border with drugs up our asses and like I robbed a bank and like
Are we sick or what? It's like the insanity, right? Like,
and I
that-
would have had it no other way.
Yeah.
Actually, we engineered our life. Like most people try to avoid those situations that they end up in like at all costs, and we were like we had a conversation. We were like, you know what? Like having to get a new apartment every 2 months because I constantly got us kicked out. It was like getting in the way of like the mission
to get high.
to put as much drugs into our bodies as possible
Mm-hmm.
because that's like a few grand a month that we could be spending on drugs.
Yeah, why put it on an apartment or a place to live?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't there, but I was there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I get that. My last like one of my last few like weeks of drinking really bad before I sobered up, we went to Disneyland. Happiest fucking place on earth, right? I had a horrible time. I probably need to make like an amends to myself for this trip. And now that I said it, I definitely have to do it, but because my sponsor will probably ask me about it later. But we went to Disneyland, and it was the first time taking all three of our babies. We brought my mother-in-law, and my mother-in-law is amazing. Like she has like totally taken me on as like a daughter. So at least I don't know what I'm doing, but at least I do have like support. But anyway, we took her with us, and I just could not sit still sober. I was like just so uncomfortable. And okay, so in Disneyland, there are two parks right across from each other. There's like the little Magic Kingdom one, and then there's like the California Adventure Park.
So you were in California.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
And in the like little Magic Kingdom, you can't. There's like one place for alcohol.
Yeah.
And
And it's like a
it's Star Wars. It's like hard to get.
yeah.
And it's like sugar. It's like nothing. Okay, so like now that day we were there was fucking miserable. It was miserable for me and my husband and my kids. I was with the baby. I totally, I did not, but I totally contemplated taking my baby into the Star Wars bar while we were waiting for them to get out of the ride and then get back in line. So I would have already, because you can only have 2 drinks in there and they kick you out. You get 45 minutes. That's it. So it's like, perfect. That's all I need to get back in line. And then they'll be out and I'll be good. And I did not do that. We went in there. I got my 1 drink. They kicked us out like after 45 minutes, whatever. Well, then, once you get that 1 drink, you're like itching and everything else is like miserable.
I know what you're talking about. Like the food court over at the. Are you talking about over there where you like pay to eat for 45 minutes?
Kinda.
Yeah.
It's not really food though. It's like a little Star Wars bar.
Okay, I've never been there.
Yeah, it's like it was cool. It was cool.
Oh,
but
the cantina.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And they have like
Still never been there, but I know what you're talking about.
yeah, well, overpriced sugar water, but you know. So I got that first drink and I was hell bent on just I don't even know. I was consumed with the next one, right? And so that day was miserable. We got back to our Airbnb, blacked out. That was nothing new. I was always blacking out. The next day we went to the other park. Now the other park, they got bars. They have, I mean, you can get alcohol wherever the hell you want there. Beer, wine, whatever you want. Cocktails, you got it. So before I was even like inside, I'm on the app ordering my next like mapping out rides for my husband to take the kids. I'm gonna circle back here. I'll get my rosé, meet you there. Oh, do you need anything by the way? No, okay, you got the kids. I'll be at the bar. Like fucking Disneyland, bro. Disneyland.
Yeah.
And what did I do? Blacked out. Middle of the day.
Time traveled.
Time traveled to freaking what is it? Incomprehensible demoralization.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we were only there about 3 days, and then the same thing happened the next day. So the next day we were supposed to go to the Magic Kingdom Park again, and I was thinking to myself, great, I'm hungover. This is cool. I
Yeah.
can just go there and take a day of rest. Well, we stopped to get food before. I pounded down a bottle of wine to like prepare myself for the day. I fucked up the ticket somehow. We ended up back in the other park that serves alcohol. So, I was like double plastered by then. I left my husband to go to a bar in downtown Disney. I'm like talking to some dude, touching his hair and doing the whole like that. That's what I remember from Disneyland. That sucks. That fucking sucks. So that was like okay, you have a problem.
That's a pretty good indicator.
Pretty good indicator.
Yeah.
Like not
But it
even
wasn't
Mickey
enough.
Mouse could make you stop. Like
Yeah. Mickey Mouse would drive you to drink though.
yeah.
So I grew up in San Diego, so we went to Disneyland and back in the day it was like super cheap to go. Like you go in the middle of the week and it was like $30 to go. Now it's like fucking so expensive. But we would get so high. Like we would go up there and it was like the goal was to just get as high as possible while you're at Disneyland.
And what happens when it like wears off though? Then you're like
You would just go back out to the car. You could leave the park and like come back in with a stamp.
oh, you were able to do
Like
that.
back in the day, yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it was like probably towards like let's see, probably like after my first prison term is like where that really changed at Disneyland. Where like you couldn't do that kind of shit.
Yeah, you can't do anything like that now. We could barely bring our babe, but yeah. So Disney World was the biggest indicator. I was like, holy hell.
And how old are you?
That was last year. Last
Oh,
August.
wow, okay.
Last August. And then August, so we have a month and a half later, Post Malone and my first AA meeting.
Okay, how long after Post Malone did you go to your first AA meeting?
Immediately, the next day. I woke
Really?
up, I still had the same outfit on, had eyelashes coming down my face. I was barely in the parking spot.
Did you get a picture at least?
I didn't get a picture of that day. I do have some, I fell the night before, of course, because like I always used to kick my own ass when I was drunk, like wake up with bruises and like as much as I wanted them to be from someone else, they were from me. like yeah. So no, I do have some pictures of me on the floor at Post Malone, but I do not have any pictures of that day. But I wish I did. But yeah, I walked right in there, and somebody knew that I was like, obviously it's pretty obvious, I think. she just said, "Come on, let's go talk," and she like pulled me in the room. So I didn't even really like sit for the first meeting. And then like it was almost like a God thing. She was like, "Do you need, like what is it?" I was like, "I can't do this anymore. I can't." She's like, "What do you mean? Like, what is it?" And I'm like, "It's alcohol. I can't. I'm done. Like, I am done. Like, I cannot. I can't. I want to run into traffic. I can't." And she's like, "Do you want a sponsor?" I was like, "Sure."
You're like, what is that?
I don't give a fuck. If she's gonna fix me, yes.
How did you know about AA?
I don't even really know, I guess. Well, okay. So, nobody, no family members. I have never, okay, let's see. My first encounter with AA, I was dating a boy in high school, and we broke up, whatever, and then we like reconnected after as adults, like right before I got married, and he had just gotten out of rehab. And so and it was like I think for drinking and pills or something. And so that was like a whole different like crazy world to me, and I was like, "Oh, that's crazy. I don't have that problem." So, yeah, and then I just knew that he had AA. I knew where it was. And then I had a really good friend of mine about 5 years ago get sober. And then it's just kind of, I don't know. I guess I just knew there was always a place. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God that I knew that.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like people are so. I was. Well, it's like everything that I watch now. But I was watching the Lincoln Lawyer TV show on Hulu.
I haven't seen the TV show.
Great show.
It's a good show.
Fucking amazing book.
It's good. You've seen it?
Yeah. Have you read the books? No. Okay, so the books are a million times better. And of course, it's like woke as fuck. The show is, because like in the book, it's like this walk the very very razor blade thin line between like crooked and not crooked lawyer, and he had like this big black intimidating scary driver, but in the show, it's like it's just woke, whatever. I don't want to get canceled on that. I will eventually get canceled because of some of the shit that I've said in previous episodes. Yeah, maybe not today. Watch it be this episode that people start like.
No, don't cancel.
But yeah, the books are amazing. But if I feel like it's like a lot of movies and shows, there's like always somebody going to a meeting in movies or shows now.
I didn't know about it like from TV or shows like that. And now I do feel like it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
I do see it everywhere. I'll be listening to like a song on the radio. Like there's like a Morgan Wallen song I was just listening to. I was like, is he talking about Step One? Is that Step One?
Do you know what My Name is Earl is?
The old show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that whole show is about him doing a 9-step?
Really?
The whole show is about him making amends.
Oh, I'm going to have to go rewatch the whole show now.
It's really funny to like when you look at it through that lens. It's like he has this list of people that he has to like go make amends. He literally says like I have to make amends to these people.
Oh my goodness! No, I haven't seen that in years, but now I totally want to go back.
And like he's sober through the whole thing, and like all this fucked up shit's going on around him, and like every single episode is like a mission of him like trying to make amends to somebody. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay. I have to rewatch it now. But yeah, now I see everything and it's everywhere. Like Frozen and the snowman.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
I don't fucking know. I totally get that. And just as long as you are on the path that makes you feel the most comfortable, like, dude, keep it up. That shit is terrible. Like, you already know. Okay. I got like a couple regulars in here. And I don't fucking know has been trying to get off benzos for like a long time, so.
Oh.
Let's see, he's down to 1 milligram a day. Oh, Suboxone. Like I said, I can't give medical advice. I'm not a fucking doctor. But Sublocade shot. It will change your life. Okay. Disneyland was
A shit show.
yeah, and then so
Red flag.
so once you started interacting with the program, like what was the process? Like was it easy? Was there friction points? Was it like one of those things where it just kind of like happened organically and it was easy for you, or like what was that like?
I mean, nothing about it was easy, but it was the easiest thing I've ever done at the
Yeah.
same time. Cause like, I'm not masking anymore.
Hmm.
Like you saw my Instagram, like that's the show. That was the show that I was living.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, whenever I like know somebody's gonna come on or whatever, I don't like talking to them, but I'll get on and like try to
Mm-hmm.
glean things from their
Mm-hmm.
social media. And I was like, this looks pretty happy to me.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get an A+ for being a good actor. But yeah, and that's the crazy thing about it though. Is like you really don't know that somebody else is like,
Not all.
mm-mm,
Yeah.
mm-mm. She's at home with her baby. She's a stay-at-home mom. Look how good she looks on Instagram.
Yeah.
Look how good she looks on Facebook. But they don't know. They don't know that I like didn't give a shit if I lived or died anymore because I was like, my kids will be better off without me.
Yeah. That's yeah, it's a crazy thing to be able to, so 148 milligrams a day down to 1 milligram. Dude, keep it the fuck up. It's amazing like how well we can just hide behind shit. Social media is amazing for that. Most people like talk about how miserable they are, and then you get on their profile. It's like, dude, I want your life.
You got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's another thing in recovery too. You got to be you. You
Yeah.
got to be your authentic self. So when you walk in those rooms, you're like, you're just an empty jar, you know?
Yeah. So, the I'm gonna give you my opinion on something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I am pretty thoroughly convinced that most people get robbed of the benefit of their suffering all too often, right? Whether it's a codependent relationship with their parents, codependent relationship with their spouses or their friends, whatever. They have people that'll like step in to stop like the suffering,
Mm.
and people who get to play the tape through to its logical end up sober, right? And there's, do you know what the Recovery Research Institute is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so William White, who previously was the director, he's now sick, so best wishes to him.
Mm-hmm.
But he wrote a book called Slaying the Dragon, and in it, there's like, I've highlighted it, underlined it, highlighted in multiple colors. Like every time I read it, it blows my mind because he is like, there is an age out effect to addiction. If you are allowed to suffer without people stepping into the consequences, you will age out of addiction if
Mhm.
you survive.
If you, there's that part.
Yeah.
If you survive.
Yeah. Well, and now he wrote this book in like the 90s, and this was obviously pre the fentanyl epidemic and all this stuff. But like today, the average drug addict, the average fentanyl addict, you know what their life expectancy is?
Mm-mm.
6 months.
What? Six
6
months?
6 months. And so from the day you try fentanyl for the first time to the average life expectancy of that person is 6 months.
Wow.
But we've never had a drug hit the market. And I had somebody the other day like, you don't know what you're talking about. Fentanyl's been around for 60 years. Yeah, but it wasn't on the streets for 60 years. It hit the streets in 2019. 2019, it hits the streets.
My sponsor.
Hey,
Hi. Yeah,
dope.
that's cool.
Please like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
But it hit the black market in 2019, and within 2 years, it became a leading cause of death for people under 40. We've never had a drug do that in the history of drugs,
Oof.
right? And so, if you survive to make it to those logical endings, as long as you don't have anybody like stepping, and the codependency part of addiction, like everybody's got something they can point to, like trauma wise, and be like, "This is why I use." But the crux of a lot of people's continued addiction becomes those codependent relationships
Mm-hmm.
and the manipulation and like the
Mhm.
bullshit that you get to like cheat people and they get to cheat you, and it's like that really becomes why people stay using,
Okay. Can I tell you about the baby story?
for sure.
Okay. So, because that's what started my like kind of the hiding. So we got pregnant with twins, and I we got pregnant. We conceived these twins in Colorado on our honeymoon. So I assumed that that's why we got pregnant with twins because I was like smoking in the mountains. But whatever. And then I later looked back when something happened and I like felt shitty about that because I was like, oh, something probably happened because you were smoking in the mountains when you got pregnant. Whatever. So we got pregnant. It was amazing. I'm so excited. Yay, we're having a third baby. We
How many
already
do you guys have now?
3.
Okay.
We have 3. We have 4 total. One is not with us, and 3 are at home.
Okay.
So yeah, we already had 2 boys. I knew this is also like the first time too. Like I had a taste of like my intuition and like conscious contact with God, kind of, but before I knew what it was, because I knew something was going to happen. I knew I was not going to have two babies home, and so for 16 weeks we're great. Everything's healthy. We go to our anatomy scan, and that's when we just it all kind of crumbled in on us. So baby B, he had.
Did you name him?
He does have a name. His name is Cruz. So my twins are Luca and Cruz. Luca is alive. He's with us, and then Cruz is in heaven.
Okay.
So baby B, baby Cruz, he had essentially like almost no cerebellum. So cerebellar hypoplasia. We're talking about epilepsy. You're talking about like neurological things that would really prevent him from having like not even like I can't even say like
quality of life would not have been there. Yeah.
No. And so, but this is over the course probably of like maybe 5 weeks. We're figuring all this out. We're going to like scans. He stops kind of growing. We kind of know what's going to happen. We do the amnio, and the amnio is terrifying. It's like a needle that goes straight into your stomach.
That sounds painful.
It was It was not good. And they don't numb you for it either. But yeah, we did all that, and then we before we had found out that it was essentially fatal, like he was the doctors came to us and gave us the choice. They were like, which is kind of a crazy thing because we live in Texas.
That is crazy.
So we live in Texas. And this is where I kind of started too. I realized I had like a resentment with like, I guess maybe the government, but
I think most people do.
yeah, probably. Yeah. I'm not special. So, yeah, the doctor sat us down at the table at the fetal center downtown, like big deal, scary shit. And they were basically like, look, if he makes it to birth, we don't know what it's going to look like. But we had already had the list of things. Like, I mean, not to be like graphic, but like he wouldn't even able to use the bathroom. So like you're talking being born and going straight into like toxic, and not to mention the fact that we already have 2 healthy children at home. So like all this is playing into my head, and the doctors come to us and they're like, you know, here's what's up. This is your options. We can't do anything for you here, but we have X, Y, and Z contacts in these states, and if you want, that's an option.
So they would have had to send you out of Texas.
And we would have had to pay somewhere around $8,000 to $16,000.
Wow.
So they call it a
Like
selective reduction, is what they call it. So essentially it's an abortion for one of them. And so I did not want to have to make that choice at all. I was like, are you kidding me? 1, and 2, we were only trying for 1 baby, not 2 babies. So we were already blindsided by that cost. And then you tell us it's going to be $16,000 to like essentially put down our baby.
Yeah, to selectively.
Exactly. So it was just a lot of like going on in there. And, you know, we would have gone through, like, we did not want him to be born like that. And we know that, like my husband and I, we prayed for God to take him home because we wouldn't have that on our conscience, right? Like God took him home on his terms, like to take me out of it, God, take me out of it. And I guess that's kind of what he did. So he passed away. And
Post-birth or Pre.
pre-birth. So he passed away 10 weeks before birth.
Okay.
So that's kind of the crazy part. A lot of people don't know that this is a thing, but when you have twins, I had fraternal twins. So they have like totally different sacs, different placentas, everything. They had their own. So when Cruz passed away, he just kind of went to the side. Luca continued growing. Cruz got like a little bit like pressed up against my stomach. So I did have to give birth to him 10 weeks later, knowing he had passed 10 weeks prior. So that was like that the birth was kind of traumatic.
Yeah.
But it was beautiful too. And that was like the first time that I experienced like two opposite like spectrums like that. Like joy, sadness.
Yeah, that's dude, yeah.
Yeah. So it was crazy. And then I say that though, I tell that story because like kind of I guess here now looking back at my addiction, that was it for me. That was the turning point because like I told you I could use that to hide. Like and when I drank after that, I allowed myself to get into like pity and I allowed myself to be like I just want my baby, but I didn't just want my baby. I was so perfectly happy and peaceful and like content knowing my son was restored.
Yeah.
Like that and that's like the I guess the sane part of it now, you know, looking back, like seeing what his death did to my addiction, like it was tremendous because it gave me it gave me a safe excuse. Because nobody wants to tell a mom who just lost her baby, get your shit together, stop drinking, get your kids to school on time, you know, make dinner, no, stop crying. Nobody wants to say that shit, you know? And so and nobody did say that shit for a long time. And had I not walked into that meeting after Post Malone, I probably would have a whole lot different of an outcome right now, for sure.
That is that's a big valley. The dichotomy of like it isn't just happy and joy, right? It's like the delivery of those two separate beings in those two completely different states. That is crazy.
And then that was like kind of the first like little thing, because then it seems like that's the theme of my life after that. It's like, how do you balance? You got joy and sadness, right? I'm no contact with my mom. I have grief for there, but there's also relief. Like that became the theme for my life after that is how do you balance both like an equal like a good and a negative. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
Yeah, finding the equilibrium between
Yeah.
the circumstances. Yeah. Well, how do you do it?
I pray. I bug the shit out of my sponsor. Truthfully, I don't do it alone. You know, I get fucked up. We get sober.
Yeah.
How do I do it? I really, page 417, acceptance. I literally just read that in the car before I got here because I was like, acceptance is the answer to all my problems. Acceptance. I have to like show acceptance for the situation. I accept right now that I miss my mom. However, I accept that she doesn't bring what I need to my hula hoop or around my hula hoop right now. And I have to love my mom from afar so I can stay sober. Because if I stay sober, you know, I'm going to change the trajectory of my babies and then their babies. And so I'm doing a brave thing, but it's never going to make her proud, you know?
Yeah, no, trying to find a parent's acceptance when you understand you'll never get it is a hard hurdle to get over.
And grieving someone who's still alive, that is a freaking conundrum. Because all you could do, you could pick them up and call them. I could call my mom today and say, Mom, I miss you. But what would it do? I mean, in the end, I would end up getting hurt again because it would just cycle back. So like, you know, in recovery, it means I have choices to make.
Yeah.
And they suck sometimes. Like sometimes the choices suck.
Yeah, people talk about consequences always. I've never, I shouldn't say never. It's been a very few people in my life that I've talked to about consequences that have talked about the positive side of consequences, right? That they're not inherently negative, right? They're ontologically neutral, Like a consequence is what you make of it.
Mhm.
And so like even the most negative consequences of my life have been positive in the outcome,
Mhm.
right? Like multiple prison terms, lost marriage, lost kid, alienation from society, from my family, like all that shit ended up serving me
Well, it's like
in
what
the
you
end.
said. Like if somebody were to have thrown a pillow under you for that, they would have been robbing you of
Of
your
the
rock bottom,
yeah,
of what do they say, the gift of desperation.
yeah, yeah. I think that rock bottom's a myth, but
I do too. I do too. Like your rock bottom when you're dead.
yeah.
That's your rock bottom. You can't come back from that.
Well, my addiction is effectively a jackhammer.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't matter
Like you can still
where,
go lower.
always,
Yeah.
always, and I always did.
Yeah.
Like there was some times where I'd be like I would come out of a situation, I'd be like, how the fuck did I end up here?
Mm,
You know, it was like, yeah, some crazy shit.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think rock bottom's a myth. I think that rock bottom marks. But I will say this: um, a rock bottom is a shitty place to be, but it is an amazing foundation to build on. Let's see what he said. I don't fucking know. Says my father died of addiction. My mom is on 180 milligrams of methadone, and she used to be an alcoholic meth addict. When I was in my 20s, she was a bin. She went on a binge and went into cardiac arrest, and I broke three. Oh wow.
Wow.
Well, at least you did it right.
D-
Right? There's a bright side. That is crazy. You still haven't reached out to me, right? You can go to my website. It is mylapserelapse.com, and all of my info's on there. Or you can just look for me on Instagram or Facebook. But I'm still trying to talk to you.
Hmm.
Oh wait, you did. Okay, yeah. Forget it. You did reach out. Okay, let's keep going.
Cool. All right. I don't. Hello.
Hi. Okay, the Clean Slate Society.
Yeah, my little baby. So I just have a. I don't like to take myself too seriously now. So I don't know, just make funny, cute little merch stuff. And I think that um, if we don't take ourselves as seriously, we don't. I used to try so hard to be leaving a good like footprint on the world, like a good legacy, and I was just fucking it all up because I was just killing myself with alcohol. And so, Clean Slate Society basically is just it's my way of keeping my hands busy. I like obviously things that look good and are cute and all that stuff. And I make little cups and journals. I have like a cute journal I just published. It says shit I can't say out loud because I be getting in trouble. I be getting in trouble when I say stuff out loud. So yeah, just a little reflection of where I am in my recovery so far. And I'm embracing the humor because like somebody else may not get it and that's okay,
Mm-hmm.
but we get that humor, like
Mm-hmm.
we understand what it's like to kick our own ass and shit and sit in our own shit for so long that we have a diaper rash or whatever. We know that we get that humor. And yeah, I have a present if you want it.
Yeah.
You want a present?
Yeah.
All right, here you go. Now my kids stole the bow
Okay.
because they're kids.
Okay, what is it?
It's a present.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so the front is on the other side.
Let's see, the Clean Slate Society on the
No,
back.
that's the back, yeah.
And
That's some of these we bought.
that shit's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, awesome.
Just a little humor.
Okay, and you sell this stuff on your Etsy?
I do.
I make amends after coffee. That's funny.
Gotta have the coffee.
Okay, this is definitely going right here.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Just a little thank you gift for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That's awesome. Okay, so where can people find you? Oh,
TikTok.
let's do you have anything else that you want to like add? Anybody that might watch this one day, what do you want? What do you want to tell them?
I guess let's see. I got a lot up here, but I guess the biggest thing is, you know, just keep showing up. Just keep showing up, really, because I don't know what the hell to say right now. I didn't know what I was gonna say today. Um, but just keep like showing up because there's value in it. And yeah, I am just so grateful. I really am so grateful to be sober. I don't know why me. I don't know why not my sister, my brother, my mom. I don't know why they weren't picked yet. They still could be. But today I was picked to be the voice. And, you know, going like back what we said, my Instagram, you know, it looks like a certain way. So if your Instagram or Facebook looks a certain way, but you know how it looks behind closed doors. Like, I hear you, I see you. God is with you. You just have to seek Him.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
When we initially had the conversation around you coming on, you were like, I'm just like a year sober. Is that okay? A year sober is 365 days more than somebody else,
Yeah.
right? And the story that you tell today might not be the same story that you tell 10 years from now, but the value of this is my opinion, right? A lot of people might not agree with this, but our value weakens the more we get sober. Like the most important people are still closest to their addiction. And so, yeah, I've interviewed people with like 15 plus years and 10 plus years and professionals and all that, but I don't care if you've got a month sober. I'm going to start doing interviews on the street with homeless people,
I think that's amazing.
right? And so never doubt the power of only having a year sober, right? It's massive. And so you're doing a great job. I'm really happy that you came on, and thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This has been so cool.
I'm gonna answer I don't fucking know really quick, or Kent. I think that any medication that's gonna improve your quality of life, whatever that means, right? Whether that's your mental, your physical, if you are doing it under a doctor's supervision, all the better. I know a lot of people, including in recovery, that are on tests that they're not getting it from a doctor. The reality is, if you are an addict, doesn't matter if you get a dopaminergic effect from it or some kind of rush from it or not, there's use and abuse. And so you can build a house with a hammer, or you can beat someone's head in with it, right? So just remember that. It's up to us what we do with the tools that are given to us. So, and with that, I thank you again, and thank you for allowing your wife to come on, and thank you for the gifts. Again, how can they find you?
TikTok.
He wants to buy a shirt
Oh,
or
awesome.
or a cup,
You can
so.
find me on TikTok, the Clean Slate Society, also Etsy, Clean Slate Society. Yeah, pretty easy to find me though. Only 2 ways, so.
All right, thank
Hopefully
you.
you don't see me on the street, right? Hey.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Oh, goodness. Thank you.